Before you throw yourself in the deep end, like any other big decision in life, you need to contemplate if ACCA is really your cup of tea. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure you're smart enough, but there are other things to consider as well. You don't want to waste 3 to 6 years of your life studying something that isn't right for you. For those of you who are new, I'm Conrad and I'm an ACCA student and I'm busy doing my applied skills level. This video is going to be broken up into 3 sections. The first one is factors that you need to consider before you study ACCA. The second section is about why I decided to study ACCA. And the third section is what to do after this video. Section 1. Before we analyze the factors, we need to ask ourselves, what is the point of actually wanting to do your ACCA? Is it about money? Is it about stature? Or is it something deeper? Because the main thing we're trying to avoid is you're climbing this ladder, and when you get to the top of the ladder, you actually see that this isn't the right ladder for you. What factors should you consider when you're trying to figure out if this ACCA thing is for you? So the first thing to consider is, do you want to go for an international qualification or rather a local qualification? Now, here where I live, it might be different where you are from. There is a local body of chartered accountants and then there's the ACCA. Now, with the local body, you can do much more. You can call yourself a chartered accountant. You can actually practice without doing anything extra. And with ACCA, you have to go through 1 or 2 more barriers to be able to be called a chartered accountant. But then again, thinking about your international demand, like what is going to be the best for you if you want to move to different countries, then something more international will suit you. The only thing that you'll need to do extra is to go and do their tax module and then also their law module. If you're looking to just do your chartered accountancy at a local level and not really have prospects for other countries, then maybe the local qualification will be much better for you or much better suited. Definitely one thing that stuck out to me while I'm doing the applied skills level, it is quite intensive. Like the stuff that you're learning there in the beginning might seem a bit simple, but then it progresses to a more difficult level. So definitely it's up there with some of the top qualifications. Now, if you're looking at the cost side of things, what does it cost? What is the money like? I'm going to speak about my own personal experience. I studied in South Africa for 3 years. Now I'm doing my ACCA online. While I was in South Africa, I was paying around 60 to 70,000 just on the resources alone of the university. Now I'm paying around 5,000 per subject. Like I mentioned about the why factor, will you be able to persevere? It is a really tough qualification. Above studying, above working and maintaining your health, all of these things you need to balance. I work a full-time job and I run a YouTube channel and I do and. It's a long list of things. So it can get pretty overwhelming. You'll need to have that discipline to be able to sit in front of a computer and study. You need to maintain yourself. You'll have to have strong planning skills. Luckily, when it was COVID-19, I learned the skill sort of because we were forced to do an online type of learning. So it's more or less the same experience for me. Also, something that is a big consideration is that when they mention this ACCA thing, they say you can complete it within 3 years. But everyone I've spoken to on Reddit, everyone says it takes them 4 to 6 years. People say they struggle with exams, they fail exams, they have to rewrite exams. So something I always believe in that I learned by Ali Abdal is to try things, have experimentations. So what I can give to you is try on the shoe and see if it fits. Maybe watch some YouTube videos like Open Tuition. I know they've got a YouTube channel about this whole thing. And then you can see, listen, do I like accounting? Do I like what ACCA has to offer? Do I like the benefits of ACCA? And don't commit to it 100% in your mind, because then you won't feel like, listen, I'm failing, I'm quitting something. You'll be like, okay, let me experiment. And then if the experiment doesn't work out, then you decide, okay, no, listen, let me rather not do it. Section 2, why did I decide to do my ACCA? So I'm not going to lie and make as if money wasn't one of the contributing factors. Money is obviously, I think for every chartered accountant, it's one of those things like everyone talks about it. Did you hear how much that person earned in that position? So it is like one of those subjects that I think everyone has a motivation because of it. And I think the biggest thing that people aspire to when they think of a chartered accountant is they think of the CFO or the CEO positions in the business. They don't really think about the behind the scenes of how you're going to get there. You're not going to become an ACCA member, a chartered accountant, and then move into a senior role. That takes experience. It takes knowledge. Hey, so if you wouldn't mind, please like and subscribe. Let's get on to the video. Also, this article I read about the hedonic treadmill. It's like you have this idea of success in your mind, and wow, that day will be so great when I arrive at destination X, when I earn $100,000. Then you work, thinking of that goal, and then as soon as you get that goal, you are like, for a week, you're happy, and then after that, it just becomes the new normal. So you're always in this never-ending spiral to have more, to be more. And I guess that is sort of the whole thing about being human, but still, you need to be content sometimes and think, okay, I've got what I wanted to do now. Let me rather than just build on other principles that are important to me, that just don't have to do everything with money and stature. Also, I think a reason why I decided to do my ACCA was because of the idea of going internationally, going to the UK or going to a different country, having that possibility. That excites me because it gives me some sort of freedom, a freedom to not have to worry about my current place and my current placement in the world. Like, I like this quote, to be rich is to have a lot of options. And I know I'm butchering that a lot, but you get what I'm trying to say. So one thing that I do have to mention is when I applied to do my CA locally, they didn't really accept my previous qualification. So that was also a reason why I decided to do my ACCA, because they actually gave me exemptions. That means that I didn't waste 3 years of my life. That 3 years at least contributed to what I have now, my knowledge that I have now. But then there's this voice at the back of my head that keeps on telling me like, listen, why aren't you being an entrepreneur? And that is like a bit of a struggle with me because I don't really want to be an employee one day. I want to be an employer. And I know that sounds cliche, everyone wants it. But deep down inside, I don't feel like I can work for someone forever. So I think my plan is just going to be to get that knowledge base, being a CA and working at a company and seeing processes, seeing systems. All of these things are going to contribute to my success one day. So section 3, what are the next steps? If you're like me and you already have a qualification, apply on the ACCA website with that qualification and see if you get any exemptions. If you're a person that's going from a trick to the first year of ACCA, then go and check what the minimum entry requirements are. They are different per country. I'm going to link the link in the description and then you can go and check, but just watch the video to the end first. Then I wouldn't say that you need to go do it now, right? So first go and do a bit more research, go and watch a bit more videos. I'm going to link them also in the description, like people that I also know who talk about this ACCA thing. But if you have specific questions, talk to me in the comments. Like, I get literally no comments, so I'm going to see your comment. Talk to me in the comments and ask me questions, and I promise you 100% I will answer them. So the last consideration that you need to take into account is, how does it feel to be working and studying at the same time? Now, I decided I'm going to make a video about this. It'll be in my next video, but if it's done already and you're interested to see how my schedule looks, how my day looks, then watch it here. But this is all for now. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.